Oh, Katie, you pressed the button. I wasn't ready. I'm naked. Turn it off. Put the mic closer. Hello, everybody. This is Daniel.
This is Katie.
And welcome back to the Future Not
Neighbor podcast.
Oh, that's right. That's our name. Yeah.
Shall we start again?
No, we keep going. Guys, right now my nose is a little, in Korean we say ming ming he. I'm sounding a little nasally. Why? Because I suffer from hay fever. In Korea we call it bium. Does anyone else sympathize? Guys, you know, like seasonal, I mean, is hay fever the same thing as seasonal allergies? I don't know. I'm going to say it is. But for me, when the weather changes from like hot to cold, like right now we have the winter breeze slowly creeping its way into the fall, like foliage, and I feel it. And I don't know, my nose, it has a little radar. And it's like today we're going to become a leaky faucet, and then we're going to kick off a little migraine in the back.
Your nose knows when the weather is changing.
Nice.
Just like how the dogs shed their hair during seasonal change.
Yeah. I mean, my aunt told me that there was someone famous near Daejeon, like a little clinic, which I can go, and they'll like tap your nose and like put like a sprout of water coming down to your nose and try to fix it, but I'm not sure if that actually would work.
No, I have a few coworkers who's gone through that surgery to fix the bium.
It's a surgery?
Yeah, there's a surgery.
You're going to cut my nose open?
Yeah, they'll actually come with a hammer and just break some bones.
Jeez, kidding.
That's what it really is.
I don't think you would do well marketing.
And then they told me that it was bleeding so much so the next few days was super painful.
So the way they fix it is they just break your nose.
Yeah,
so you can't smell anything.
They do something with your bones. And then they fixed it. So they don't have it anymore.
They don't have it anymore?
So it worked on one guy so well. So he recommended the same surgeon to another guy.
Yeah.
And then he did it too. And then he was also happy with the operation.
All right. I'm going to have to check it out and then come back and do a podcast about how to get my surgery with hay fever. Hopefully it goes better than my lipoma surgery.
Oh, yes, for sure.
Shout outs to the past podcast episode. Yeah. But my aunt said if you're born with it, or like some people are born with the seasonal allergies, or some people get it due to the area that they live in, you know, due to pollution or whatever it is. And
are you born with it?
I think so, because my sister always had it bad, and my sister always said, it was the funniest thing. She's like, Daniel, do you know why it's so tough on me? And I'd be like, why? She has like all these like 40 Kleenexes around her. And I'm like, why? And she's like, I have no kotal, which is I have no nose hairs. So nothing gets trapped. It goes straight into my lungs.
Oh.
Yeah. And my sister would always come up to me. She's like, look underneath my nose. See? Nothing. I was like, I believe you though. You don't have to show me, but I don't think it's because of lack of nose hairs for me. I think it's something else. It's just something.
I think it's like the structure of your bone. I don't even know what I'm saying.
Yeah. The other day we went to the cafe and I still had the hay fever, and I just felt so bad because like people were like kind of looking at me because I'm just like, I'm not blowing my nose, but I'm just like dabbing it. You know, there's that kid in class who just keeps like, and you're like, Jesus, would you go blow your nose in a Kleenex? Yeah, it was that feeling, I think, in the cafe towards me. But I feel so self-conscious about it, especially with COVID, that I went to the restroom to go blow my nose and I would come back. But I went like 4 or 5 times, and I think people would think I had some mad diarrhea or something.
Or COVID.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, you know, I took my subway to work today.
Yeah.
And there was one guy who sneezed really hard.
Did everyone just look at him like he was a terrorist?
But everybody, he had a mask on too, but still. And then the next thing I see is like people walking away from this guy.
Yeah, it's like the ultimate taboo to sneeze in public now. Everyone just turns.
Yeah, but sometimes you just can't help it, you know?
Yeah. With this nasally nose, I took a little call with my friend, and we had like an interesting discussion. Sorry, guys. We were talking about things like, why do people smell things that smell so bad?
What do you mean?
Oh, you don't do that?
What do you mean?
Like
they like to smell smelly things?
Like, for example, do you ever use a set of toe clippers and then clip your nails, and then the little jigogi that's in between your
Oh my
Seed.
gosh, that's so nasty,
The
Daniel.
little grub, you pick it and you're like 2 seconds away from throwing it away, but you're kind of like, oh, no one's watching, and you take a. You don't do that?
Daniel,
Huh?
I think it's too dirty of a topic to talk about.
I know. I was talking with my guy friend for sure, but it was so
I
funny
don't
to
think
me.
people need to listen to this.
My friend was like, you have to bring it up on the podcast, okay? And I was like, all right, I will, just for you. So, but Katie, you've never done that? Is that just a guy thing? I'm sure you do. You're just not. You're embarrassed to say it. You never smelled it,
I'm no comment, Daniel.
which means you have.
No, no, there are things that I like to smell. You know,
That's-
I like the smell of a new towel.
Oh God, who doesn't, Katie?
Really?
Yeah.
And I like the smell of a gas station.
Okay, that's strange. Oh, you like that nauseous,
Yeah.
that gasoline smell?
Yeah.
You're strange.
And my mom always told me not to smell it because it's kind of similar to drug. You can get addicted to the smell.
See, yeah, like we're a little bit attracted to nasty things. Like, for example, have you put your finger in your belly button and then smelled your finger?
No.
I've done that before. It smells so bad. I don't know. It smells so bad. Like, the reason why you smell it is because you're shocked that something in your body can smell so bad. And so you want to smell it again. You're like, oh, oh.
Honey.
And Katie, there's one more thing that smells even worse than your belly button.
What is it? Your
Um,
feet.
No. You know, in the back of your throat, have you seen like a little white thing forming? It's called like tonsil stones. I know this because I searched this up before. I thought I had like cancer or something.
What's this?
You know, you never seen it? Like in the way back of your throat, beyond that little dangly thing. Like sometimes
Is this like a liquid?
no, you'll get like a little, like it looks like a little rock, a white rock, and then oh my gosh, like sometimes it gets big and then it'll like dislodge off of the back of your throat and it'll come out and you're like, what is that? First time I was like, what is that? And I like took it out because I thought it was like, I don't know, like a piece of bread. Oh God, I'm getting so graphic. But you smell it and it is like hands down the worst smelling thing. But then equally as much, it's the most attractive thing. You have to smell it again.
So you can like take it out of your throat and smell it?
No, it dislodges from your throat. So you're like, oh, what is this? And you're like, ew, what is this? And you'll take it out and you never had that?
No. This is
Jeez.
something new I heard today.
Really?
You're very experimental with your nasty smells.
No, because when I told my friend, as soon as I
You
said,
did it too?
as soon as I said, you know the thing in the back of your throat, and my friend started like, ah! He's like, yeah, we all know. I'm sure half the readers already know. And I was telling him,
What is this topic for? Who is this for?
I think this is for my friend who was like, you have to share this. He said he wanted to see Katie's reaction. And he was like, hands down, Katie smells it all the time, but she's going to deny it.
Okay, I will be honest. I know the smell of the belly button,
I told you, see?
but I've never heard of that
The
thing
tonsil?
about the throat. No.
Well, part of the reason why this conversation came up was when I went to Vietnam and I was traveling with my friend. We were in the hotel one night and we had because it was hot, so we had the door slightly open. And every once in a while, I would just get like a, and I would be like, yo, I don't want to say his name out loud. I'll just give him initial. I was like, yo, E, what's that smell, man? I was like, dude, Vietnam is pretty stanky, man. Like, what's that smell? Like, that street smell is terrible. It smells like toes in here. And then it would go away. And then, you know, we had spent the whole day like sightseeing and stuff. So we were like tired and just lying down. But I roll to the right and I'd be like, I'll get that whiff again. So I'm like, what is this? So I like, you know, first thing I would do is like smell my shirt. I was like, maybe it didn't dry like quickly. So it smells. It's like, no, that's not it. Then I went and I smelled him. I was like, that's not it. And basically went through and smelled everything in the hotel to see what it was. Because I like looked out the window and the air was fresh. It didn't smell like anything. And do you know what it was? I went to use the restroom to wash my hands again. And then
It's your hand.
and there in the corner was my sandals. The one I had been traveling through Vietnam with, through all the gunk, through the caves, the Songdam caves that we went through. It was like humid, so there was like, torrential rain that went through. And it never had time to dry. So it was 5 days of moistness in that sandal.
Oh my god.
And then I went and I was like, okay, this has to be it. So I smelled it. I was like, oh. But then I smelled it again because I couldn't believe how nasty it smelled. So I was like, oh, that's confirmation. Yeah, that's it. And then I told my friend, I was like, yo, E, hey, I figured out the source. And he was like, no way. Hey, let me smell it. That's how I know that we evolved from primates, from monkeys, because we smell everything. Yes.
But then you
Sorry, guys.
But then you can't smell anything because of your broken nose anyway.
Yeah, you always say that I have a broken nose and it's getting to me. Sorry, guys. I need to go blow my nose. Don't worry. You're not going to get COVID. It doesn't travel through the mic.
Speaking of COVID, Korea has eased down the level of social distancing to level 1 from level 2 now. So actually, the buffets are open. A lot of like shops and restaurants are open. And there's a lot of restrictions are lifted.
And Katie, I still have my eyes open to see how the weather is for our original wedding date. It was supposed to be in 2 weeks, and the weather is pretty cold. Yeah.
But it hasn't rained a single bit in the past, I think 3 to 4 weeks now.
I know. October is nice for a wedding. You just have to dress up a little bit warmer.
Like at nighttime.
Yeah. But I'm kind of secretly hoping it does rain. That way we're like, yes, it was moved for a reason. Hopefully it doesn't like the skies don't open up like the Lion King and it's like perfect.
But I don't see the chance of it raining based on the weather so far. It's just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. Katie, at dinner we were talking about your coworker who has set up the little camera and that's how she watches her kid. I think that's so interesting. You should.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like my coworker told me that her kid is like around 10, but she's never like left her kid alone at house. And then she had something like come up where she had to leave the kid alone.
Yeah.
And then so she set up this camera, like Xiaomi camera. There's apparently an app associated with it too.
Yeah.
So you can like watch the entire house, like going around in 360 with this app on your phone.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so you can see like live where the kid is sitting, what she's doing. And with a button, you can even like call her, like shout her name and she'll be able to hear it.
This is so like from a movie. It's like it's like remote parenting. Your parent, so the parent can make a living. She's at the office, and on one screen she has the screen of the home, and it's like watching a prisoner in a prison cell.
But this is not the first time I saw this though, because my other coworker, this one is a guy, and he had a lot of like scare about like leaving his daughter and his wife alone at home.
Yeah.
So he actually set up the camera too.
Yeah.
And he like kind of watches who goes in and out of the house, like so that he can watch it, have it on record. It's like a CCTV.
Yeah.
And and then
do you want all of that? Would you feel safe with all of that like data, like your personal family data being stored somewhere on some server and having Xi Jinping flip through it on his off time? You said a Xiaomi, right?
Yeah, Xiaomi. It's very cheap. It was only like $35 apparently.
Yeah. Interesting.
But also another thing that we talked about was like when you and I were growing up, and also when she was growing up, she said she was alone at home all the time.
Yeah, me too.
At that age.
Yeah.
So what is all this fuss about now,
Us becoming parents, we're so much more worrisome. We don't let the kids just like be kids. And if you have a camera that's on all the time, and your mom can be like, yeah, why aren't you studying? That's like, oh my God, that would be so restrictive. That's like a stripper in the making.
But the funny thing is, she said she didn't want the kid to be conscious of the camera.
Yeah.
So she told the kid, I will only watch it if you call me.
Yeah.
This is her way of reassuring
I've heard that one before. My mom used to say the same thing to me. She said, I'm going to go to work. I've already set up some cameras in here, so don't even not think about like not practicing the piano or stuff. The first 2 times I did it, and I would just keep looking around to see where the camera could possibly be. And then once I tried practicing, it was supposed to be a 1 hour practice. I practiced for 50 minutes. Nothing showed up. My mom didn't say anything. Next, it was 40 minutes. Then next, I realized my mom was just BSing. We're too poor to install no camera. Are you joking? Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it can be useful also people with pets.
Now, your pets at home, I think that one is I just remember like when we were raising a few dogs at home, man, like the level of care that pets get now, I just feel like our family, we missed the mark by a whole lot. Like whenever we came back in the house, the dogs would just run around like in circles, go crazy. They ripped up everything, and like, I mean, they must be waiting for so long for their owners, huh?
Yeah, I think that's because you never walked your dog.
I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, we didn't know how to raise a dog. When I was like, Dad, I think we got to take our dog to the vet. My dad gave me one of these, like, we don't even have insurance. What do you mean the dog is going to go to a vet? Like, it was just so out of the realm. Like, family had come from Korea, and like raising pets was not something that was like carried on. It was something new because my sister just brought a cute little Maltese dog home, and without my mom or my dad's permission, and it just became part of the family. So we were so ignorant on how to raise a pet. Like my mom would wash the dog with its ear flaps up. It got an ear infection, and it would just be shaking its head all the time. Oh my God, it feels so bad.
Well, the animal rights have come such a long way because now there's kindergarten for pets.
Really?
So, my mom was saying that there's a kindergarten for pets where they come to pick up the pets at different houses.
Yeah, in Korea.
Yeah, and then the humans will make 도시락 for their pets, so that in the kindergarten they only eat the food that's in their 도시락.
So do these dogs get picked up every morning?
Yeah.
So
like a real human.
But your mom said that market is growing like rapidly.
And there's like a swimming pool for pets.
So a little van comes,
Yeah.
the dog goes into the van, and they take it to a daycare center. The person at the home goes to work, and then they pick it up at night. It gets dropped off at their house.
Yeah.
And the owner has to make a toshirak for the dog to eat.
It's not like you have to, but your love for the dog is so big that you will make that toshirak because the dog also has their own taste of food. So you want to adjust to their taste as much as possible.
At which point, are you living for your dog, or is your dog living with you?
But whatever makes you happy. If that makes you happy, why not?
Yeah, interesting. It'll be Planet of the Apes soon. All right, and Katie, there's another reflection that I wanted to talk to you about. So lately, I feel like I'm getting dumber. And why I feel like that is, long time ago, we used to have a lot of downtime. Like in between, if you're like in between studying or in between work or in commute, in a bus, in a subway, like you have a lot of downtime to just think, just stare out the window. I call it stare out the window time. But now we have our cell phones, so we're just constantly being like, it's too easy to turn on entertainment. So our thumbs naturally just browse through Instagram or Facebook or YouTube. I never pick up a book or at least a magazine. Long time ago, I used to really love reading through magazine articles. Yeah, anything related to science or business or even like, good editorial pieces from the newspaper. Love going through that. But I feel like I haven't read a magazine in the last like 5 years. So all I know is like the latest video, and I just follow like who I'm subscribed to on YouTube. My brain is not filled with any fresh thoughts or anything like engaging intellectually wise. So I feel like I'm getting dumber and dumber. I need to put down the phone and really make an effort to read some books, because I have interest in books, but it's just
No, you have to show me through action. I've not seen you interested in books in months. I hope just doesn't go just as just words.
We have these new books that we've bought. Every time we go to the bookstore or we're in like the department store, we always check the bookstore, and I come out walking with the fresh new books, and I feel so good. I feel like, yeah, this is exactly what I want. I'm so excited to read. And as soon as it gets into the vicinity of my house, it never sees the light of day. I think I'm more excited about the idea of reading than reading itself, because the day is so busy for me. It's hard for me to like.
And you're always watching like stupid videos on Facebook and playing these like dummy games.
No, but
on your phone.
But I call that my downtime, because like I'll be working, and like if you do a little sprint, you gotta have some downtime. I don't know. It's much easier to open up Facebook and just see like, here are the dumbest videos, and just spending like 10 minutes like that than opening up a book.
So how are you going to cut down on those times and start reading?
I don't know. You're approaching me as if this is my problem only. Little does the queen of of streaming.
But I try so hard to stay away from it.
Your words, Katie, are so convincing, but I don't think you try so hard.
I do, because the other day I cut down on all the like social media that I'm following. Like on Instagram, I looked through all the lists of people that I'm following, and I started to unfollow all these like
big accounts.
Not only big accounts, but all these shops that I'm following.
Oh, I see.
Because those are the biggest problem for me. Like they always tempt me to buy more stuff. I unfollowed all those, and also on YouTube, I unfollow a lot of like.
I see that on your phone. You always have the time limit, some sort of time limit that goes off, and it says, "Oh, you're 10 minutes over your time limit for the day."
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Yeah, I know, because it's like always 30 minutes.
I want to get rid of it, but I just can't be bothered to get rid of it, so it's still there.
I see.
And also, I kind of forgot how to get rid of it.
I see.
Because my sewing machine arrived, so I started to sew a lot.
Yeah, that's right. Katie finally got a nice. What was the company called? Burnett. It looks really nice.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it. I waited like 3 months because their supply was limited due to COVID.
Yeah,
I put myself in the waiting list.
Is Burnett what company are they from?
It's
what country?
Switzerland. Yeah. I really like their design. All the features are really good. And I realized that when I do sewing, there's so many things that I need to think ahead before making anything, because if you mess it up, then it has repercussions and you have to undo so many things.
Yeah.
So it kind of helps me to think a lot. And then also it gets me concentrated for very long hours.
Well, I don't have that much problem about like being focused and in the zone. I have like quite a few activities that do that. I just need like ideas, like new ideas, like fun ideas to rotate in my mind. Because I actually like to talk to myself sometimes. Don't you ever do that? Did we already talk about this? I think we did a long time ago about like sometimes I like to.
I caught you a few times.
Yeah, I just talk to myself. All right, and during Chuseok, we also had a listener email us about something on his mind. I think I can't pull it up on my email. I forgot it's stuck somewhere. But essentially, he was asking. I think he was a Caucasian male, and he's dating a Korean girl, and he was asking, why are so many people scared of Korean moms? He was like, should I propose to my Korean girlfriend? And then I just remember him putting hashtag I could buy a Tesla instead. I just thought it was pretty funny, a little bit witty. Are Korean mom-in-laws like a big burden, and are they scary? And daunting.
I
What do you
think
think?
that's
What's
how
your
they
take?
portray it in dramas.
I think that's where he might have been, getting the kickoff from. I feel like Korean moms they're a little bit overbearing in relationships. And I feel like they don't know when to give distance so that their daughter can kind of live independently with their husbands. Since a lot of Korean girls have a close relationship with their moms, they take their mom's opinion into their decision making with the guy, and that causes a lot of like conflict, that lack of that independency, in my opinion.
Well, partially it's true because like before like people get married,
Yeah.
it's very like a typical tradition that Korean moms will take like the birthday and the name or like time of birth of the guy,
Yeah.
and then like do consulting to like this 사주파리 person.
Oh, you mean like go to these shamans and try to get like
Yeah, see if
birth-
they're a good fit or not.
oh yeah.
And when it comes out bad,
I forgot
it's like
about that too.
that's like a huge drama. So you just have to pray that it comes out well.
Did your mom do that for us?
No, she
No, right?
didn't.
I think that's really old style Korean.
Yeah, but there's still many like families. It's the mom who most of the times do this.
Yeah, let's explain a little bit more. Like, because I'm very confused by it too, but I know it happens. But they'll take
Like your date of birth.
yeah they'll take the date of birth of the guy and
then
girl.
the meaning of your Korean names.
Oh, right,
like
right.
the 한자.
Right.
And also the time of birth.
Yeah, they'll take it to a shaman.
Is this shaman?
I just like the word shaman, but
Which?
which a shaman? Yeah, it's just some old guy who's just ripping
Old
people
guy
off.
or old lady.
Yeah, and they'll look your name and
And
those
they'll study through these books
study,
With
quote
the-
unquote study. Yeah,
with all the old Chinese letters.
it's like a
and then-
fortune teller. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then they'll come out with the results. And
Yeah.
then if it's good, they'll give your
It's like a
mom.
huge relief.
Yeah, it'll give it like more reassurance that the stars are aligned. But that was just like the Indian Matchmaker, that TV show that we watched. They do the same thing.
Did they do that?
Yeah, they took the names, but there was a guy who could even read faces. How convenient. Show a photo of the face, and what the lady was
Yeah.
saying, well, I'm sure what they're saying is, like, just because the fortunes align, it doesn't guarantee that the relationship will work, but it gives you more insurance that it should work.
Mhm.
Just total BS. Anyway, but yeah, I guess if your parents or your mom is really into that, that's pretty hard.
Your parents aren't into that.
Not at all. They're too Americanized.
Yeah, so going back to why the Korean moms are so scary.
Yeah, I think there's just too much concept. You should just let your kids go after a certain age, but they just want an opinion into everything, and it just for the daughters, you want to make your mom happy, but also and then it gets tricky. I think that's just what it is.
Yeah, but I don't know if that concept is a bad thing.
Well, okay, so then what if your mom has one opinion, but your husband has a different opinion? Then it sucks for you, no? What are you gonna do?
You have to give a more like detailed example.
Okay, so let's say that you have kids and your mom really wants you to stay in Korea, but your husband really wants to leave the country, and they both are passionate about doing one thing or the other. What are you gonna do?
But it also depends on what you feel too, right?
Oh, the girl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So ultimately, the decision will be between you and then the girl.
Yeah, but what the guy is getting 답답해 or like feels frustrated about would be that it should be between you, the guy,
Yeah.
like a weighted decision, and your
Yeah.
mom should be more of a reference,
Yeah.
not like a 30%, 30%, or 33%, 33%, 33%, like split weight decision.
Yeah. That's how it will happen.
Oh, okay. Katie's like looking at me. It's like we're talking about ourselves right now. But ultimately, for the person who sent that email in, it's up to you and the girl. And if you guys are tight as one, and you guys know you guys are the center of your relationship, then you can
Okay.
work through things, you know.
Yeah, but I think I know why they even come up with that question, why Korean moms are more scary. It's because like in families, the dads don't really play any role in Korean families. Now, am I being controversial?
No, it depends on the family. My dad leads the house in my house. Makes all the decisions.
Yeah, so in your family's case, it would be your dad who's more like somebody to
Yeah.
like consider
Yeah.
or like out front.
Yeah.
But a lot of Korean families is like the moms have a bigger voice
Yeah.
and then the dads kind of stand back and they don't really like interfere with like the kitchen affairs or anything like house affairs, anything like that.
Or child rearing.
Yeah. That's why the moms have a bigger voice and they kind of take the role of both the mom and the dad in those like big events.
I see.
That's why it kind of can feel like the mom is very overbearing.
See.
Yeah, that's
Whereas in
my
the West,
opinion.
more the dads lead the family in big situations.
Or more like equal portion, you know?
See. Yeah, that's actually a good point. Yeah, I think one thing that I find kind of strange is that like for a lot of new couples, the guys will just make the money and then they'll give it to the wives to like do the financial decision making, and they'll I feel that's so weird.
Is it? That's like
Yeah.
the traditional way.
Yeah,
So
that's so
if
weird to
people
me.
like maybe a little bit older than me,
Yeah,
maybe in like from 40s,
yeah.
there's most of them are doing that way. So the husband
He just
basically
brings the money.
takes off his hands on all the like money stuff. So
Yeah.
the wife takes care of everything. But then nowadays the trend's kind of changing. So
And the guys
amongst
do it?
younger couples,
Yeah,
it's like mostly 50-50
Yeah.
or they just don't really interfere with each other's like financials, and they make a mutual like account to
checking
pay
account.
pay off like common things like the house bills,
Yeah.
electricity bills,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Well, the reason I bring that up is because a lot of times if you go to like real estate meetings or like sometimes I'd be at a cafe and there'd be like a stock investing meetings, it'd be all women
Yeah.
because they're like trying to figure out how to like take their earnings and multiply. And then I was talking with my friend and he was like, yeah, I just bring the money. And then now my wife gives me a little.
Yeah, they live off of pocket money that
Yeah.
the wife gives.
Yeah. And I was just like, that's so.
But then that also stems from the fact from the understanding that men can't really take care of their finances well. So they leave it up to the wife.
That is
do
true.
it.
That is true. Like even in stock investing, I feel like women are. Yeah, when I was in finance school, I think there was a lot of studies that women actually make better stock investment decisions than men because men are they're so ambitious and trying to get money too quickly, taking on too much risk that they can't handle. Or women are more risk adverse.
Yeah,
generally.
I heard that too.
So
But I was actually talking to my coworker today.
Yeah.
She's like maybe in her 40s, and
Yeah.
she was like saying exactly the same thing. How she's like taking care of everything.
yeah,
It's because the husband doesn't know how to take care of it. Not that he's more ambitious or anything like that.
he's just
The
too
husband
lazy.
very naturally gave up all of his like ownership of the finance to the wife because he knows that she will be better at it.
Yeah, that's a weird cultural thing in
Really?
Korea. Yeah, in the States, guys usually take care of the finances. Like, will
Is
lead
it the
house.
guys or is it like they do it individually?
The guys, yeah. I mean,
The guys?
the guys usually make the decision. I mean, okay, yeah, of course there are like traditionally, the guys will bring home the money and will also have a big say in how it's invested or how it's spent. Whereas in Korea, it seems like the guys just hand over the money and then the
Yeah.
women have the final say on how to spend it.
Yeah.
But it's such a stark contrast to me.
Is it?
Sometimes when I talk with my friends, I'm like, dude, have you lost your balls? Are you gonna man up and like make some decisions? Doesn't
But
seem to be. It
That's
seems
not
like a
the
cultural thing.
general conception. It's not like about being manning up or not here. It's just very natural. And then, you know, there are stories how like the man, because the wife knows exactly how much money that he receives every month.
Yeah.
So like he makes a second account.
Yeah.
So on that second account, he will receive all his bonuses. So that will be his
Yeah, I
like
heard a
little
lot of
secret
this.
account that he can just play with
Yeah.
without his wife knowing.
Yeah.
And then the wife discovering about it by talking to other ajumas in the neighborhood. And that turning into a big scandal.
The Housewives of Seoul. Episode 1 right there.
And interesting I heard also today was
Yeah.
actually, you know, when we were young,
Yeah.
or until quite recently, like the moms or the parents, when they have kid, they will open a kid saving account, and then they will like keep saving money, and then typically use that money saved up for like their college and
Sure.
stuff. But now it's changing. So instead of making a savings account under the kid's name, they buy a stock. I
Oh,
heard
really?
these people talking about it next to me today.
Oh, they already.
They buy the stock and they're mentioning, oh, what stock should I get for my kid? And they're just mentioning Microsoft, Google, Facebook, all these US tech companies.
Oh, that's. I mean, hey, there's one reason why you should give the money to the women. That's smart. The savings rate in a bank compounds to nothing.
Yeah.
Or a stock. Well, hopefully it's a growth stock or even a conservative stock for like 10, 15 years should go up.
Yeah, I think that's quite clever.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, that's a good tip.
Mm. Maybe we should start doing that for ourselves.
Yeah. One thing about investing into the Korean stock market is that if you look at the overall growth, of course it is up, but like in the US, you can just invest into a S&P 500 and it should return higher and higher over a longer period of time. But Korea, it goes
Just have
up.
patience.
It goes up and down, so you can't leave it for a long time. It's they call it 뻥튀기 market you can only make money in the short term unless you have a really large time horizon. We're talking decades, then of course. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that doesn't really happen. Do you know like Big Hit? They're gonna do IPO next month, I think.
the one that the label behind BTS.
Yeah, the price for the one share,
Yeah.
I think was turning out to be around like 50,000 Korean won. So
$5?
50 million Korean won. So that's 5천만 원.
So 50,000 USD for one share.
Yeah, it's crazy.
How did they do that?
It's just they did a 청약 and it's all determined by the demand.
There's that much demand. I think it's stupid to invest into BTS because it's only like one scandal away from dropping 50%. One of those BTS members, they catch COVID, or one of them has a scandal and then it's down 15%. I would never invest.
Yeah, this is more like a event-based
It's too unpredictable.
movement.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know why we're talking about BTS stock, but
Everybody's talking about it around me. So it's like the biggest issue right now in Korea. There's been quite a few YouTube like dramas going on here in Korea.
oh, which one? Which one are we talking about?
Well, it's been a few months, but you know, there was a huge scandal about certain YouTubers like lying about ads.
Right.
Introducing, like recommending products, but saying that it's not an ad, but it turned out to be an ad.
Yeah. There was that girl that always goes, "Hey, baby dear," which means like, "Hey, babies." And that was like a signature thing.
Yeah, she was like a fashion stylist.
Or like the biggest celebrities
like
in
Korean
Korea.
celebrities. And I used to watch her videos a lot because they were fun and informative.
Yeah.
And then one day it turned out that they found out that
She would always show like a lot of these like Louis Vuitton and like Fendi and all these like designer bags.
yeah,
But then they
they
were
were all like ads basically.
so she was pushing product for brands, but then she didn't like disclose that to any of her viewers, right?
It's not that she didn't disclose. On certain videos, she would
Yeah.
explicitly say that this is not an ad. This is
Oh.
all like I bought it with my money.
Oh.
And then it turned out to be not the case.
So it was very intentional, intentionally misleading.
Yes.
Not like an accidental, like I didn't
Yeah.
mention.
Yeah. So
Okay.
a lot of public were very, very betrayed by her actions. And then Like she's put up an apology, and then like now she's kind of stopped making YouTube videos.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was like a huge scandal. It wasn't only her, there were a few others.
Yeah, it seemed like there was a whole wave of like, because when that hit, I had know some of my friends asked me, it's like, hey, like, dude, what is your thoughts on this, like, advertising and stuff like that? But I didn't know like, I don't really live in the world of YouTube or YouTube drama, so I didn't really know the details that well. But you remember my reaction was like, why do they have to be canceled, right? Initially, when I heard that, like
Yeah.
just for running some ads, that's how like YouTubers make money. But when I learned the details that like for a show that's like intentionally reviewing products but then misleading, saying that isn't, I think that's a pretty big no.
Yeah, and then it kind of initiated this, like, I don't know how you call it, like that now we have a stronger law
Yeah.
related to it. So now you have to like explicitly state that this is an ad, like at various points of your video. And then also I started seeing a lot of like other videos now being much more explicit about ads, like amongst like Korean YouTube videos too.
Yeah, that's good. That should be there.
Yeah.
We get approached all the time to run ads for companies, but I don't know. I've always denied it. I didn't feel like, even more than like the money, it was I couldn't be bothered to like go through the review process.
Here's the truth.
The truth is I'm too lazy to run ads. If they made the process easier, I might put some like product placement into our videos. But then
maybe
a lot
you
of
should share the details.
Yeah, a lot of the brands, if you shoot, they have these requirements, like it has to be like 30 to 45 seconds. Sometimes they have some copy that you need to read. And for me, I'm like thinking, all right, some people are watching my videos so they learn how to make bibimbap, but then they have to listen to 30 to 45 seconds. Okay, then I have to be creative on how to read the copy or make it entertaining. Or I could just do the lazy way and just be like, hi, this video is sponsored by Squarespace. This video is sponsored by some coffee company, or this video is sponsored by, and then, I don't know. And then after...
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong with it.
That's like the way to make money. So.
I'm just saying I can't be bothered to it. Yeah. And then you have to send it to their company, and then they have to get it reviewed, and then they say it's okay, and then you can publish. And I'm just like...
Yeah, so your published date kind of has to be postponed until they review.
What was some other... Oh, there's a recent one. There's that girl that sometimes you watch, Katie, the Gabie Kook, which is the channel. Yeah, why not? She's made public news now. Like it's all over Korean media.
Korean Naver and like.
She's the husband to the
husband. She's the wife of the Korean.
I'm sorry, the wife to
Korean Englishman who is much bigger than her. Like literally everybody in Korea knows that channel.
It's a British guy, but he knows how to speak Korean, and he tries to introduce Korean food and culture towards foreigners. I think that's what it was. I never.
So what happened with her? The scandal is that she actually recently came to Korea to get some like treatment, and then of course in Korea, if you
medical
come from,
treatment,
medical treatment,
okay.
And then when you come from abroad, you have to have a 2-week quarantine by law. And
exactly why we pushed off our wedding.
Yes. And during this quarantine, she kind of had a birthday party. So she had like people come over to like outside her hotel room or something to come give her gifts. And she vlogged about it.
Stupid.
And then she released a video. And then there was like a huge outlash of people because basically she broke the rules of quarantine, because quarantine you're not
very
supposed
strict
to
in
meet
Korea.
people, and unless it's something that's very, very emergency or very necessary. And then her husband is the one who organized this mini like surprise birthday party for her.
So they both had their brains off. They were like probably like high to get views and like just
that's
riding
what
the waves.
People think. So they've put up apology like statements. And
so
stuff.
Basically, you're supposed to stay 14 days in a hotel room, and then you're not supposed to make contact. And Korea's been very strict about it. That's why we have very low, deaths in our country. But then they decided to break the rules to have a birthday party.
Yeah.
And even if you broke the rules, they decided to film it and then have the big balls to put it onto YouTube
Yeah.
to flaunt that they had it for views.
Yeah, so I didn't get to watch that video because that video was deleted soon afterwards,
Yeah.
and I only like basically analyzed the situation through like news articles and all this like people comments.
I heard about it because you told me it made like trending news on
Yeah,
Naver,
it
which
was
is like Korea's
top
Google.
news on Naver.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of messy.
So what is your kind of overall opinion about it? Do you have like any sympathy for?
It's very disappointing and like upsetting
Yeah.
for a lot of Korean people because we try so hard to get these numbers down, and like Korean people sacrificed a lot
Yeah.
to like fight over this virus,
Yeah.
which is why we're much more we have been very successful with this case, you know, compared to other countries,
Yeah.
and people have a lot of pride in this. But then and then you see people coming from abroad
Yeah.
and then kind of acting really carelessly like this. It's very disappointing.
I think they just have their brains turned off. I mean, if you film yourself breaking into a liquor store, okay, and you did it, there's a rush in doing it, and the party in itself might feel good, but why would you record that and then put it onto the internet
I think they
to
thought,
millions of people?
yeah, they have so
So
many
so
like,
so
viewers.
either A, they must have thought that would be okay,
yeah
that they're not breaking the rules.
Yeah, because according to them, these guests didn't come into their room apparently.
Oh, really? So they came into the house, but they were stuck into the.
Well, I think
door?
they had the masks on
Uh-huh.
they did do a like handover of presents and whatever. Yeah.
At which point it's like, why don't you just wait a few more days and just do it properly? Yeah, I don't think they would purposely want to sabotage their channel and try to make main headline news of Korea and get so much negative news. So it looks like they just didn't know that they were breaking the rules. So
yeah, because they were not coming from Korea too, so maybe they
Yeah.
didn't really know the severity of the situation.
but you know how
I
crazy
don't know.
like the political situation and like just the internet people are nowadays. They probably have their mouths foaming to cancel people. I'm sure the more famous you
also
are,
true.
they want to cancel her as bad. So, you know, if you do something that stupid, then it's like there's a lack of empathy. So you kind of made what's coming to you, right?
But it's, I don't know, it's at the same time it's really scary because you do one thing wrong and
Yeah.
then like it's kind of over.
Yeah.
Like you get so much like hate and criticism. I don't know if it's something that average person can handle.
Have you ever written a negative comment on YouTube?
No.
I haven't either. Like, I don't know till this day, like I'm on YouTube and I produce content on YouTube.
But have you written any comments on YouTube? Like any even good comments?
After I started YouTube, yes, because like I wanted to help other creators and be like, hey, that looked nice. I might have written 10 YouTube comments in total, like ever. But I guess what I was just trying to get into is who are also these people who are so enraged that they write like
But I could understand why people will write comments on this case.
see.
Yeah. Because this is very extreme.
Even on our YouTube channel, like we have a few haters, and so I mean, it's actually a blessing that it's just that little.
We don't have that many.
I would feel like so many people would hate on my corny humor, but it seems to work. But yeah, every time I upload a video, within the first 30 seconds, there's like 3 downvotes, and I'm just like, which 3 trolls like are just there, be like, it's up. Downvote him. I'm like, it must be someone from a high school that I know that figured out I had a
because
YouTube
that
channel.
thought just came up to me because you know, like when there's robbery in a house,
Yeah.
the people who are closest to you are the kind of closest suspects.
Yeah.
So I feel like you can apply the same concept here.
Yeah.
So maybe people who are
Maybe
closest to us,
Maybe some of my close friends are like, screw Daniel, man. What's he doing on
it's
YouTube?
their secret jealousy coming back to you.
Yeah, I think it totally could be, but it's all right. If 3 out of thousands, then it's fine. It's a good ratio. But hey, you know what? Thinking about YouTube comments. Wait, are we done on this Gabie thing? Is there anything else to say other than just they had they had their brains turned off. But we both agree they shouldn't be canceled, right? Actually, there's no need to even ask that. I don't even believe in canceling people. They made a lack of judgment. Do you think the amount of criticism they're getting is justified or no? I think that's a better question. Canceling, they should never. Why would they get canceled over that? It makes no sense.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm in a position to be able to
Make a judgment.
Yeah, like that. I feel very careful about it.
Okay, then would you, if you had a picket sign, would you be like, "Hey, don't be too hard on Gabie," or would you be like, "Hey, go back to London. Why are you breaking the quarantine?" Which side are you going, or are you just straggling the middle?
I would just pass by silently.
Jeez, Katie.
No,
You have
I mean,
to
like,
pick a
I'm
side.
just like, I will talk about this with my friends,
Uh-huh.
like through messages or something.
Yeah.
But I can't
generally,
really
are you
see
saying negative
myself-
stuff or positive stuff? Be real.
Negative.
Okay, so then you're on the negative picket side.
But I don't know. It's just I'm not very used to writing like comments like publicly like that. So
Yeah. Whatever. It's not a big deal. There's just a blimp in time and space. Oh, Katie, we should finish off with this. What are some of the most comments that have bothered you, you've enjoyed, or comments, YouTube comments that have
most memorable
Most
YouTube
memorable ones.
comments?
yeah.
Of course, how can I not forget?
Which one?
You know what I'm gonna say, right?
Yeah. Say it. It's hilarious.
There was this one comment on like one of our very very like early vlogs that we did.
Yeah.
I even forgot.
Was it the one where
exact
we're modeling
terminology.
the future neighbor t-shirts?
T-shirt? Yeah, that was that video filmed in Itaewon, and
Yeah.
like I try my best to model that shirt, and like
We're just
try
having
to-
fun, yeah.
Yeah, and then she's like, "What did she say?" It was such a demeaning choice of words.
It was like
Something
in
like
Korean it was like,
you don't even girl.
girl, you don't even have the legs to model. Who do you think?
No. She said something like you don't even have the portions. Oh my gosh, disgusting to look. Something like that.
You don't have the proportions, or like why are you trying to model? You don't even have the right legs or proportions.
Yeah,
You look
don't even
ridiculous
have
or something.
Yeah, you don't even like.
Regardless, I mean that's generally in the ballpark of what it said. But I was just so shocked that like someone could write such just
Mean.
well, just have so much negative energy for us just filming just a t-shirt in a thing. It's just like
I know.
like,
What did we do
it was all-
wrong?
it was no. I almost thought it was comical, right? I was just like, man, it's just kind of crazy, just the type of like someone must be so angry in their shirt or in their
she
rooms
must have
watching the
been-
video.
Yeah, really, really bad mood or
Yeah.
what?
But one of the comments that I just like pet peeve is like I'll make a beef soup
Mm?
and they'll be like, I don't eat beef. Can I substitute the beef? I'm like, it's beef soup, you dummy. What do you mean substitute the beef for beef soup? Or like I make gochujang jjigae and they're like, it's hard to find gochujang. What can I substitute gochujang with? I'm like, hello, just make a different stew. Like there's no need. Those ones get me. But I never respond like that. But in my head, that's like knowing my character. You know what? There should be a camera that that records my reactions when I flip through some of these comments. And then, of course, through my filter, then I just write up something more passive and just, perhaps you could enjoy a different stew that's less spicy.
I don't know that comment that was very early on in our YouTube like journey,
Yeah.
and I don't know, it struck so deep into
Yeah,
me.
you got a little bit affected by it. I remember you were like, oh my gosh, do I really look? I was like, Katie, welcome to the world of the internet where everyone has a voice and everyone has an equal voice. And whoever like types the loudest, like that's crazy. That's like we both are not on Twitter, right? So we
Yeah.
don't see like the craziness that is there. I've always believed that not everyone should have the right. No, how do I say this? Everyone has the right to a voice, but not every voice matters. Yeah, but
So I try not to like look at negative comments now.
yeah, but the hard thing with social media is like every voice, when you press reply, it looks the same. So it looks like it's equal weight. And the way our minds work, there could be like 99 positive comments, but that one negative comment,
that's all I see.
That's all you see, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that's everyone.
So scary.
It's like when you look in the mirror and you see like flaws, but no one else sees it.
All I see is my dark spots.
Yeah, but I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't see anything.
And
whereas when I see the mirror, I used to only see lipomas.
And I don't see anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's just the human condition. Oh, come on, Daniel. You can think of one more of these YouTube comments that are just ridiculous.
Just squeeze your brain. Squeeze.
Come on.
Only if you cut down on those Facebook videos, you're going to have better memories on this.
Oh, actually, when I was reading through it, instead of a negative comment, I had an interesting one. Someone was asking, you moved back to Korea after college and grew up in the States. Do you miss it? Would you ever move back to the US with Katie? Katie, what do you think?
Would you ever move? Yeah, I think there is a possibility.
But
I always floated the idea of going somewhere in Europe and living for like a few years.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad either.
I'm watching that movie, Emily in Paris.
Oh, God.
It's that drama.
Oh, God.
I was so happy because today I found out that my coworker was watching that drama too. And we had an immediate connection. We were like, yes, you too, me too.
Gosh.
But it's so fun because it shows that different like cultural aspects of like French culture versus American culture.
What's one big difference?
A lot of things resonated with us because we also like traveled in Paris, even though quite short.
Yeah.
Like how they're like these American things, like the French people are so rude, but then the French people think the Americans are so workaholic. They don't know how to be happy and enjoy life. I'm talking about not French; it's more Parisians. I
see, Parisians.
Yeah. Well, that's how it's depicted in that. So,
what is Parisians' attitude towards life in the drama?
Like
or towards work?
Work is work, and just basically they really appreciate life outside work. Oh,
so it's only like one part of your life, whereas for Koreans or Americans, it's like work is your identity.
Constantly thinking about your work and so like ambitious and passionate. But then the people like in the Parisian office, they don't really like it.
I see.
And they don't really like change to their like everyday.
I was going through Flipboard and it said Emily in Paris was like the show that everyone hates but can't stop watching.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know. I don't take that much interest.
I still have a few episodes to finish. I feel like I am with that girl Emily and kind of doing an interning there. Yeah. So it's kind of fun.
Sorry, I'm just like completely pivoting, but going back to the question, like, I realized that I spent most of my like really fun years after college in Korea. I never really got to go like bar hopping in New York or in like Los Angeles. Well, I did a little bit when I was like during college, but like after college. So I'm curious to see the life in New York, like in your 30s. I think it'd be very interesting too.
Yeah, I would love to try.
Yeah. And especially if we have kids, I don't want to raise in Korea. I don't want to put them through the grinder, through the education system. And then
hagwons?
Oh, no. After school tutor for like 10 hours and then just turn them into little muppets.
So now you have to go to math hagwon. You have to go to English hagwon. Yeah, some other like drawing hagwon.
Oh, God.
God. And piano hagwon.
I know what that is because I did that routine in America too. Anyway, yeah.
Now one more thing is added. Coding hagwon.
Oh yeah, where all the mothers know that coding is the new English.
Yeah, so they want to send their kids to Facebook headquarters.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think it'd be interesting to move back and see.
At the same time, I'm scared. Because I feel very safe here.
Yeah, Korea's very comfortable too. As long as you have like an okay, decent job, like it's safe, food is delicious, and
a lot of things are affordable.
Yeah, It's not a bad. Actually, it's a great place to live. Actually, I think it's a
People-
great place to live, but I just don't like the education system.
Yeah, and a little bit certain parts of the culture, it's a little bit stifling.
I would want my kids to be a little bit multicultural. Be open-minded, be able to interact with different races, and know that this world is a little bit bigger, or society is a little bit bigger than the little pond that we call Korea. Yeah, and I think getting early exposure is good.
But or Busan would be good. So moving to different city in Korea. Or Jeju-do. It seems like a hot spot.
Oh, Jeju-do would be interesting.
Yeah.
It's like if you make enough money and then you can just go there and not necessarily like struggle to make, because there's not that much industry in Jeju. It's an island, right?
Yeah.
So if you make money from the main island in Korea and then fly over, like you can enjoy like surfing and raise kind of like family in the, I guess like the island lifestyle. That'd be cool too.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool too.
Mm.
But we just gotta make the money, 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 money. Show me the money.
Daniel,
Huh?
can you stop it?
All right, we're ending, guys. Adios. Peace.
Thank you for
Salud.
listening. Salut. Salut is hello.